So it's January 15th, 1943. You're an Allied soldier fighting in World War II. Your day starts like any other. You dig into your K rations, trade some cigarettes with a comrade, try to patch up the hole in your Sergeant S uniform that he insists is lucky because it has been through for battles and is still intact. Today, you are stationed on a cold and rainy British coastline waiting out the storm, all of you hoping the Germans will be too afraid to come out and attack in such weather. But just before lunchtime, a messenger comes running toward you from the direction of headquarters, out of breath and shouting, "Urgent message from HQ, come quick." And then when you get there, the officers gather around a radio set are staring in disbelief at a message in front of them. This intelligence is so shocking, so surprising, so improbable that even if they wanted to, they couldn't make it up. It is a German naval convoy carrying vital supplies for their armies in North Africa has just turned back after setting sail. In fact, the whole plan has been canceled, which means the Axis forces in North Africa will have to wait even longer to receive the reinforcements and materials that they need. What makes this piece of news so unbelievable is that the Allies had no idea what the Germans were planning until they intercepted the order canceling the mission. Now, it might seem like a minor detail, a lucky break, and maybe it is, but consider the bigger picture. If the Germans had carried out their plans, many more of their troops would have made it across the Mediterranean Sea to join Mussolini's faltering Italian allies in North Africa. This in turn might have allowed Rommel's forces to defeat Montgomery's at El Alamein, changing the tide of the war in Africa. After all, El Alamein was one of the most decisive battles during the war. A victory here for the Germans would have surely changed the outcome of the war. But how did the British get wind of this German plan? How is it that the Germans didn't realize that someone was listening in on them? And why should you care about this as a kid who likes video games? We know that stuff is cool. Well, first, the German military kept its codes under lock and key and used complex machines called Enigma to encrypt their communications. This made interception extremely hard, almost impossible. But the British didn't give up. They created a secret team of code breakers led by a genius mathematician named Alan Turing, and they worked tirelessly to crack the Enigma code. And on that fateful day in January 1943, Turing's team succeeded by deciphering the German message. They alerted the British military and potentially saved countless lives. Now let's take a closer look at the man behind this incredible feat, Alan Turing. Born in London in 1912, Turing was a child prodigy, and his mind was already brilliant in mathematics and engineering. Before he started school, throughout his life, he was fascinated by puzzles and codes, and he even built his own cipher machine while he was just a teenager. During World War II, Turing joined the British government's code-breaking efforts and was sent to Bletchley Park, where he headed a small team responsible for cracking German naval codes. Despite the constant pressure and danger, Turing's team succeeded in breaking the Enigma code, a feat that would change the course of history. Turing was a brilliant mathematician and logician. He is best known for cracking the Enigma code during World War II, which shortened the war by 2 years and saved countless lives. But Turing was also a computer scientist and one of the founding fathers of artificial intelligence. In 1950, he proposed the Turing test, which is still widely used today to determine whether a machine can exhibit intelligent behavior equivalent to that of a human. Sadly, Turing was persecuted for his homosexuality and died in 1954 at the age of 41. He was never awarded a Nobel Prize for his contributions to science and mathematics, but in 2009, he was given a posthumous pardon for his conviction for homosexual conduct. Okay, so we know Turing was smart, but what does that have to do with us now? Well, the answer lies in what he did next. When Turing realized that the Germans used the Enigma machine to generate secret messages, he knew that breaking the code would be a monumental task. Enigma used complex algorithms and rotating drums to encrypt and decrypt messages, making it incredibly difficult to figure out what lay beneath the surface. But Turing wasn't daunted by the challenge. Instead, he assembled a team of brilliant minds and embarked on a mission to crack the Enigma code. Turing and his team began by trying to understand the inner workings of the Enigma machine and the methods the Germans used to encrypt their messages. They analyzed captured German equipment, studied documents, and conducted experiments to try and uncover the secrets of the code. Once they had a good understanding of how the Enigma machine worked, Turing and his team started to develop a machine of their own that could replicate the process. However, the Enigma machine was so sophisticated that building a replica wouldn't be enough. Turing needed to build a machine that could run through millions of possible code combinations. At lightning speed, the result was the bomb machine, one of the earliest computers ever built. The bomb used a combination of electromechanical and electronic components to test thousands of possible solutions in just a few minutes. Previously, it would have taken a team of humans months to achieve the same result. With the power of the bombs, the Allies were able to intercept and decipher German messages, gaining valuable intelligence that helped them win the war. But the impact of Turing's invention went far beyond the battlefield. The technology he developed laid the foundation for modern computers and data encryption methods that we rely on today. You see, the main problem with Enigma was that it generated new code settings every day, meaning that any captured enemy soldiers could immediately report that their previous codes were useless since they'd be changed. Not only that, but those settings were often sent via radio, meaning that radio interception was the only way to keep up with changes, and it wasn't always successful. So how did the Allied forces crack this seemingly unbreakable code? Let's find out. Enigma looked like a typewriter, but it was anything but ordinary. Its keys were arranged randomly and each press produced a jumble of letters instead of the expected characters. But these weren't random letters. They were scrambled versions of the original message using a code that changed daily and sometimes multiple times a day. If you received the coded letter, you would need to know the daily code to decipher it. And without the code, it was impossible to know what the message said. Enigma's most important component was a drum made of electrical contacts arranged alphabetically. These drums were set to produce specific code settings. As soon as the key was pressed, electricity would pass through the contacts, creating a new code for that letter. After passing through the first drum, the signal would go to a second and then a third. Each drum shifted the code further, making it incredibly complicated to decode. But Enigma wasn't perfect. Sometimes operators would make mistakes when sending or receiving messages, leaving clues that the Germans didn't realize were being exploited by the Allies. While they had no idea how the Allied forces managed to decipher their codes, the Germans were aware that something was off. They noticed that the British seemed to know too much and that their positions were often compromised before they even made a move. They suspected that spies must be among them, but they never guessed that someone had broken the code. Turing's ingenious solution involved exploiting the weaknesses in Enigma's design. His team built a machine called a bomb that simulated the Enigma's processes, testing different settings to find the correct ones. The bomb will work by plugging in various settings and seeing if they produced a readable message. If not, the machine would continue testing until it found the right one. This process was repeated over and over again until the correct code was found and the message could be deciphered. One of the challenges Turing faced was that the bomb required a lot of electricity to operate. This meant that the machine had to be placed in a rural area far from enemy bombers. So a network of sheds and huts were built to house the bombs and provide enough electricity to run them. These structures became known as huts and are now a famous landmark in Bletchley Park. By 1945, Turing's team had cracked the Enigma code so effectively that the Germans stopped using Enigma machines altogether. This was a testament to Turing's brilliance and the hard work of his team. They had accomplished what was thought to be impossible, proving that no code was truly unbreakable. After the war, Turing continued to work in mathematics and computer science. He developed some of the earliest artificial intelligence programs and proposed the famous Turing test, which is still used today to test the capabilities of AI. But Turing's career was cut short when he was prosecuted for his homosexuality. He died in 1954 at the age of 41. But his legacy continues to inspire people around the world. Now, if you ask me, the story of how Alan Turing and his team broke the Enigma code is nothing short of miraculous. The sheer brilliance of his invention and the dedication of his team allowed the Allies to gain the upper hand in the war and ultimately save countless lives. But what do you think? Can you imagine a world where computers and data encryption didn't exist? And what do you think it was like to be a codebreaker during World War II? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about the amazing stories of the past that shape our world, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.